Typically, when someone brings an axe to the spend the night, that's kind of a party foul. And it was so funny because one of the girls screamed, goes, "My shoes! I'm bleeding." Oh, okay. So you guys like the stories. Makes my job easier because I got plenty. We went to college for 4 years and we came out with a degree, stories, and a lot of emotional damage. I'm playing. No, but seriously, thank you guys for gassing up the last video. This allows me to make a workout video about my 8-week bulk that I'm starting this week for next Friday's video. And this week, I can just tell another story. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Anytime I can't go out and like record something, I'm going to tell a story. That being said, be sure to like the video and subscribe. And now, story time. I chose to call this one "We Hit the Wrong House," and you'll see why in a sec. So junior year of college, I was a co-chair for a summer camp called Impact. It was a Christian summer camp at Texas A&M. It was awesome. It was honestly my life for 4 years. As a co-chair, I had a partner, Madison, and we had counselors, basically the grunts of our group, kind of be our boots on the ground at camp. And Madison and I could kind of just look down from above and be like, do this, do that. The only power trip I've ever experienced. It was awesome. That being said, we wanted to be good leaders. We wanted to know our counselors. And one of the ways we were able to get to know them was by holding a spend the night where I took all the guys to my apartment. She took all the girls to her apartment. And then we did activities and fun things to get to know each other. I'm pretty sure the girls did like face masks, movies, food. The boys, what better way to be united together with both mind and body than to prank the girls? Feeling going back to the dawn of our childhood where you're hanging out at your buddy's house. They have a sister. You have one job, and that is to make that sister's life a living hell. I don't know why that was a thing. I don't know why messing with a friend's sister was so enjoyable. But basically, this was the same vibe. But now we're in college. Girl counselors were doing nothing wrong. They hadn't provoked us, but so help us, we were gonna start war. It was great. So that night, we waited until the girls should have been asleep to go hit their house. You know, we picked up minor supplies like window markers, fake poop, saran wrap, silly string, you know, just bare basics. We go to their house where they're spending the night and we just graffiti it up. Now, it's important to note that everyone kind of dispersed and did their own thing. Some people hopped the fence, went into the backyard. Some people stayed in the front yard. Some people hit the cars. You know, we did a lot. Okay. And as the co-chair, I probably should have been a little bit better at supervising the activities, but you know, I'm just going crazy. Yeah! You know, I'm just having a great time. Everyone completes their task and everyone runs back to their cars. We had brought like 3 cars. 2 cars were used to kind of get the bulk of the guys because I think I had like 10 guys with me. But then this guy, Roger, drove alone because he had like a 2-seater car. So he just drove himself. That's important. So we drive back to my house. Everyone's laughing, having a good time. We're talking about like what we all did. And we get to Roger. And Roger says, "I can't believe they won't be able to flush." And that just kind of like DJ scratch. The whole room turns. Nobody's laughing there. Everyone's just kind of like, "What?" And Roger's like, "Yeah, it's going to be hard to flush without water." And everyone's just like, what does that mean, Roger? Roger's like, "Yeah, I turned off their water. You know, the little floor access by the street." And we're all like, "Yo, that's awesome." That's like totally illegal though. You know, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's sick. That's so funny." And you know, we're laughing and everything. But then Roger starts describing where and how he did it because obviously we had like 1,000 questions. And the more he described his surroundings, the more I started to get concerned that Roger had the wrong house. There was like this red car outside of Madison's house. And I was like, "Roger, did you turn off the water for the house that had the red car in front of it?" And he's like, "No, I did the one with like the big tree." And at that point I was like, "Oh no, I'm a co-chair. I'm gonna lose my co-chairness." And I'm like, "Roger, you hit the wrong house, my guy." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, we should probably go fix that." For context, Roger's one of the most unique, hardworking, always down for anything type of person I've ever met. Homie drove to Mexico with a friend to bring an old fire truck back with him that didn't have brakes. Roger drove a fire truck from Mexico to College Station without brakes. I don't know how that's possible. I don't drive stick shift, but apparently he just grinded gears or something like that. And then he had a fire truck. He kept a fire truck. He was also the kind of guy to like tuck in his shirt, show off his utility belt that had like a flip phone attached to it, the pocket knives. He brought an axe with him to the spend the night, to my apartment. He said he always wanted to be prepared and he didn't want to leave it outside in case his truck got broken into. Typically, when someone brings an axe to the spend the night, that's kind of a party foul. It's kind of a, "Nah, man, that's messed up" type of vibe. And we were all just, you know, supposed to be cool with it. But anyway, that's just who Roger was, and we loved him for it. But anyway, we had to go back to the house. So we hustle back to the house. We see what Roger did, and we're like, yeah, bro, you hit the wrong house. He hit the neighbor's house and turned off their water. So we gave them water, and then we turned off the water to the girl to the correct house, right? Unfortunately, the girls were not all asleep at that point, and there was a girl in the house that was taking a poo that couldn't flush, right? Couldn't turn on the water to the faucet. I'm pretty sure someone might have been in the shower. It's all a little bit hazy to me. And we were all being a little loud while this was going on and, you know, laughing and stuff. So by the time that we left and were peeling out of their driveway, the girls had ran outside, seen it was us, and then got in their car and came in hot pursuit. Madison's texting me. She's like, oh my gosh, did you guys turn off our water? We don't have water pressure. And I'm just like, Lamau, yeah. And so I tell all my guys, I'm like, yo, if you guys have them on Find My Friends, take them off Find My Friends. We're getting out of here. We can't let them know where I live. They still found out where I live. We took them on a wild goose chase around College Station for a while, but then we ultimately drove back home to my house to set up our defense. The girls kept asking, please turn on our water. We want to go to bed. And we were like, nah. We started it and we wanted to finish it. You know, we didn't want to give up that early. So I get home, I have a dozen eggs in the refrigerator. I grab the eggs and I take me and some guys to go be artillery across the street for when the girls pull up. Roger drives home to go get the fire truck for some reason, and we sit and wait for the girls. Basically, the way the layout worked, it was like park in the top left corner, parking lot apartments on the right, gas station bottom right, my apartment bottom left. Okay, so there's like, we're at an intersection. I basically lived at this intersection, and we're in these apartments in the parking lot behind some cars. The girls pull in to the gas station parking lot waiting for us. I'm not really sure what their plan was. You know, when you start something like a prank war, retaliation is always kind of like on the fly. And I'm not really sure the girls had a plan or had any idea what to do, but they all pull up into the gas station parking lot. My boys and I are behind the cars in the apartment parking lot, and we just start hucking eggs at them. And they get out, and it was just the funniest thing because you hear like the splat of the eggs, you know, where it hits pavement or it hits metal and it's the car. But then one of mine hit fabric and it was a thud. And it was so funny because one of the girls screamed, goes, my shoes! And I look up and she's got like brand new white Vans on. And I just patted that baby up with egg yolk. I felt terrible ultimately. I'm a big fan of white shoes. I'm so sorry. But what a shot. So the girls retreat to the park. They drive on down the road. They go to the park. We run back to the house and we lock everything up and we're all just laughing, having a good time. And all the while the girls are like texting me and they're just like, we're gonna get you guys, like we're gonna get you guys so good, you know, all that, just all talk. Well, then there's a knock at my door. It's Kelly, one of the counselors. And Kelly, sweet innocent Kelly, tells me basically, I know we're at war now, but I really need to use your bathroom. And I was like, no, I'm not letting you inside. You're gonna do something. You're gonna do something to my house. I'm not letting you inside. She tells me I'm bleeding. And I was like, where are you? And she's like, I'm bleeding. Oh, okay. I feel like using that as an excuse to then turn around and prank the house would be a little messed up. I've never seen a girl use a period to her advantage. So this was odd. Kelly was also dating one of my roommates. They're now married. Awesome. And so I said, okay, you can go up to Jake's room, Jake's bathroom. That's it. And she said, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Like that's great. And I crumble and I go, oh, okay. So you're actually serious, because that was more of a test to be like, no, you can only go to Jake's room. I was like, oh, well, then she's gonna be fine with that. I'm thinking, oh, it's great. I said, go use my bathroom, it's fine. She runs upstairs, door is shut and everything, and me and the guys are just kind of sitting there on the couch. Enough time goes by that I'm like, what's happening? Started to feel a little bit lengthy. At that moment, I heard the door open and Kelly run downstairs at Mach 10 and just bolted out the front door. And I was like, yo, no way. She just had like 10 minutes in my room alone. She totally did something. So I run back upstairs. I don't even go after Kelly. I'm just like, heck that. I'm going upstairs. I go into my room and my room was fine. I'm like, okay. So then I go to the bathroom. I open up the bathroom and I look in the tub. And there's about like 20 minnows just swimming around in the tub. And I was like, okay. And then I open my toilet, and in the toilet is a slightly bigger fish, kind of like goldfish type size, swimming around. And as a guy, I'm like, is this it? Is this the prank? Because I kid you not, I open up the lid and I'm like, huh. And I just flush. Boom. Problem solved. I don't know what her thought process was. They put a fish in my toilet, expecting that now I am now the caretaker of the fish. I've just signed up for 6 months of feeding it, nourishing it, reading it a bedtime story, getting it a new home. No, I flushed it. Because if there's one thing I learned from Finding Nemo, it's that all drains lead to the ocean. All that to say, I was pretty disappointed in the Retaliation. I mean, I understand that no one is gonna beat Roger's level of attack, but holy smokes, man, fish? But, you know, I was feeling in the prank mood, so I kept it going. So I went to some friends' houses and I zip tied a Febreze can, chucked that baby on inside, made a hasty retreat. They retaliated and dumped a buttload of rice all across my equipment. Did the same thing to my roommate, zip tied the Febreze can, chucked it into his room, locked him in there. Literally, he's just suffocating. I'm just like, smell good, Danny. Homie retaliated with 15 pounds of flour all in my bed, in my room. It was terrible. He had to rent an industrial cleaner to get it all out. Spent like a whole day. But those are the types of pranks I expect, not freaking fish in the toilet. But yeah, that's what happened. Honestly, because of that night, we're all a lot closer. It was good bonding, especially for the boys. We became tight. A true unit. We went into camp on the same wavelength. We had gone to war together, and we learned how to turn off someone's water. It's also super illegal if it's the wrong house.